Ninth generation Toyota Camry, so many of us are looking forward to the redesign, new tech, new styling, potentially new powertrains as well. And I thought it was going to be for 2024, but man, was I wrong. If you're excited for anything Camry, smash the like button, especially for the next gen that is right around the corner. But I wanted to talk about also today how the Camry is still relevant in today's crossover craze market. And we'll also talk about how well Toyota is doing as a brand and reputation. I've made so many videos talking about the next generation, ninth generation Camry, and we're all excited for it. And I thought it was going to be a 2024 model year. I was wrong. It looks like it'll be a 2025 model year. And for the 2024 model year, we have the same carryover model. And that's okay because the Camry's still kicking butt and taking names in terms of sales. And it's one of the best sedans out there on the market, as you know, more and more sedans are falling off to the wayside. So starting price for a 2024 model is $26,420. If we go back to last year, it's $26,320, so only $100 increase. So that's great to see. Inflation is going up more than that. So the Camry is beating inflation right now. Also, when you look at some of the more expensive trims, those can vary a little bit more than $100, $300 to $400 potentially, but still, that's not that big of a deal when we've seen other companies raise their base prices $1,000, $1,500. So thanks Toyota for not raking us over the coals here with a base price increase that is not in line with the market, or at least not in line with our pocketbooks. When I go to Toyota's newsroom and look at what's new for 2024, they just have the Corolla in there. They have the Tacoma, they have the Grand Highlander, and their sports cars, right? My walk around of the GR86 Torino, GR Corolla with the flame blue or blue flame, and then the GR Supra with the Mecon Blast orange. But there's nothing yet on the 2024 Camry. So it's mainly, I would say, just a carryover model. Same safety tech, which it's outdated. It's 2.5, where the rest of the new Toyotas have been incorporating 3.0. And man, I like the Cavalry Blue. I like the Reservoir Blue. I think it looks great, especially with these copper wheels that are essentially a refinishing of the TRD models. So if we look at the TRD, I think there's a TRD in here. There you go. It's the same sort of wheel you see on the TRD models. Here is the silver lining, is that you can still get the V6 for one more model year. The V6 is 99.9% gone for the 2025 9th gen redesign Camry. So snap it up while you can. That's the good news. The 8-speed auto is there as well. You also, I mean, they say available sport tune suspension. That's probably on the XSE and TRD models. Available 9-inch touchscreen. So let's talk about the interior. And I think the seats have aged well for Toyota. This has not. This looks like a decade old. It actually looks in the same generation as my 2013 Sienna. Now, if I try to build the new Camry, it says out of stock, not out of reach. So I can't even build the new one. Probably because maybe some things haven't been finalized with it, would be my guess, in terms of maybe packages or interior, exterior, color combinations, things like that. We know this render. We've seen it many, many times. It's what I use as the thumbnail most of the time when I'm talking about the 9th gen Camry. And it's taking the Crown Sport that we're all excited for. Hopefully we get in America. But it's taking that sort of styling and slapping it on a sedan body. And if the Camry comes out looking like this, I think most of us are going to be licking our chops essentially for this new Camry. Now from the back, I don't think the styling carries over as well as it does on the front. And here it is in the flesh. This vehicle is coming for Japan at the end of this year. This is their Crown sedan. It's rear wheel drive. You can get it in a plug-in hybrid or a fuel cell. But if it's a plug-in hybrid, it's probably going to be just like the RAV4 Prime, where it has an additional e-axle on the back powering the rear wheels. But man, if the Camry is slightly shrunken down from this, but carrying the same sort of design, like a light bar in the back, I know it's kind of overplayed at this point, but it'd still look cool if it's done like this, and it would say Camry instead of Crown right there. I think we would be in for quite the treat if it looks like this. But would I still rather have those Prius wraparound headlights? I don't need it at this point if it looks as solid as this front end does. The interior, actually what we're looking at here is the Crown sedan that's currently available here as a replacement for the venerable Avalon. Rest in peace, Avalon. But this is the sort of interior that should carry over, or at least a general design and outlay should carry over to the Camry. Now, maybe not the materials aren't going to be as nice on the Camry. It can't, because this is really a Lexus in terms of build quality and maybe not quite materials, but really, really close. So anyways, we'll have similar setup here with a shifter. We'll have a 12-inch screen. As an optional base screen will probably be an 8 or 9. And then you'll have either a fully digital MID or your option between a 7-inch or a 12-inch fully MID back here. Here's the thing with the new Camry is that from what I'm hearing, my sources are saying that it's going to be hybrid only, 2.5-liter hybrid with around 230, 240 horsepower, 50 miles per gallon. And that is going to replace the base engine, the base 2.5-liter naturally aspirated with around 200 horsepower, and then also replace the V6s from what I'm hearing. So the good news is that the Camry should be getting all-wheel drive instead of having a drive shaft going to the rear wheels with the 2.5-liter. You'll still have the 2.5-liter in the hybrid setup, but you have an electric motor powering the rear wheels for on-demand all-wheel drive. Could you see Hybrid Max powertrain from what we see in the Crown Hybrid Max and the Crown Platinum trim? You would think they would save that for the Crown, to be honest. Otherwise, it's getting really, really close and maybe making the Crown a little bit redundant, but we'll see. And could you imagine a Camry Prime where they put in the 302 horsepower setup that we see in the RAV4 Prime, over 300 horsepower? It would probably essentially have 45, 50 miles of range of EV only, which would be amazing. But that won't happen probably until after 2025 or sometime maybe at the end of 2025 when battery packs start rolling out of the North Carolina battery plant for Toyota. All right, heading over to automotive news. The first half sales for 2023 have concluded, and there's been a shakeup at the top for the best-selling automakers. So I wanted to go over that as well as talk about how the Camry plays into this. So GM took its top has reclaimed the throne. So the last 2 years, Toyota was at the top while GM had a lot of issues keeping up with the production during the COVID shortages. Now, Toyota seems to be one struggling, as pretty much everyone else is positive. Stellantis is down so far in the first half of the year, but the things will start turning around for them. But you see massive gains across the board. Tesla getting into the top 10 here, selling 340,000 units in the first half as well. And just look how big Hyundai Kia have gotten as a brand. Not that far behind Toyota, guys. That's quite impressive. And leaving Honda in the dust. Honda including Honda Acura, Hyundai Kia including Genesis as well, Toyota including Lexus, so Ford including Lincoln, etc. So if we look at the top brands, just brands with the nameplate, not just the company that includes the luxury brands, but the cars that have the logo Ford or Toyota or Chevy on there. Toyota's down about 3%. Ford up 11%, GM, or should I say Chevy in particular, up 17%. Subaru getting in the top 10 there as well. Hyundai, Kia, Nissan, Honda up there as well. All right, top nameplates. This is super surprising because the Camry, we know that sedans are not hot, as we'll find out here in a little bit. Sedans are not doing great, but the Camry's up 11% on the year. They sold over 150,000 units. It's outselling the Tesla Model 3 overall. That'd probably be the next best selling, maybe the Corolla actually. We see the Model Y kicking the RAV4's butt now. That is just like blindside of the RAV4. Look, up 76% for the Model Y. That's insane. RAV4 up there, CR-V up there, Rogue up there, and those are like the compact, or should I say, yeah, they're technically compact crossovers, because we'll find out right here. The largest segments, compact crossovers. So those crossovers that we just mentioned. Then you have the full-size pickup trucks, then large crossovers, which is going to be like 3-row crossovers. Then you're going to have subcompact crossovers, and then mid-size cars. Guys, that's the Camry. So the Camry is way down here. So you'd think there'd be more nameplates from full-size pickup trucks and compact crossovers beating out the likes of the Camry, but the Camry is still doing great. And this was a really fun graph for me. So we have brand reputations ranking from best to worst in 2023, and I'm sure this is fluctuating because we know Anheuser-Busch is not doing as great as they were. So maybe this came out, or maybe this data was finalized before the recent shenanigans. At the very bottom, you have some news networks, and you have TikTok in there. You have British Petroleum in there. Comcast, they just jacked up my internet pricing, and my internet's gotten worse seemingly. So that's no good. Burger King left my neighborhood unannounced. Like the next day, everything was out of that Burger King. All the signs were down. Anyways, obviously we know all of these brands on this list, and they mean different things for all of us, of course. But I'm going to try to whittle down here car companies at this point. The first one on this list is Chrysler in the good category, so it's good for them. Tesla, not that far ahead of them in the good category as well. Then we have Volkswagen in the very good, and the very good is the biggest sector here. And then we skip all the way to General Motors, coming in right between Google and Aldi. And then Ford is right ahead of them by 1/10 of a point. Next car company, BMW, still in the very good. And then I think the next car company after that is going to be Subaru. Subaru with a really good reputation here, followed by Sony and Honda, right? They're going to be building cars together here in North America, which is crazy. They're a Fila brand. I can make all sorts of jokes about how I'm feeling about it. But yes, I'm excited for Honda and Sony working together. Not sure how that works for or against their Honda and Acura brands. All right, then we're going to skip forward to the only car company in the excellent category is Toyota at 81%. There's only 5 companies in the United States, according to this poll, that has better reputation. Chick-fil-A, Trader Joe's. So I shop at Trader Joe's. So I know what's quality here. At time to time, I shop at Costco as well. John Deere up there. Go America. Or John Deere is even made in America. That's how little I know. I'm not a farmer guy, even though I grew up in small town Nebraska. And Patagonia, the outfitter. So quite impressive here. Of course, I use Amazon on a daily basis. Check out my links down below. That would help me out if you guys want to check out the camera equipment I use, etc. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update here. Long live the V6. At least one more year before we get the redesign. But man, I am really excited for the new generation Camry, from the looks, the updated tech, and the hybrid-only powertrain. I'm a sucker for hybrids. I've been a Prius owner for a long, long time and a big believer in the technology and its reliability, its efficiency, and its overall smoothness and refinement. So anyways, I really look forward to the new Camry. Let me know down below, would you want the outgoing model for its V6? Totally get why. Or are you looking forward to the new gen with new safety tech, new infotainment technology, new design, interior, exterior, and better power, more efficient powertrains, I should say, with all-wheel drive. So, all right, I got to shut it down. Just a quick update. Make sure you're subscribed for upcoming Camry information. Fingers crossed we get a reveal by the end of this year. And availability, maybe summer of next year. I would say that's best case scenario. Maybe we have a shorter model year for the 2024 as they switch over to the 2025 sometime mid next year, where we get the 2025 model probably before fall even, since we're seeing the 2024s roll out right now, which is June, July time period. So 2025 Camry should be around midsummer next year in 2024. Which makes it a 2025. So, all right, I admit I was wrong, but we're still not that far. It really hasn't pushed the timelines back a whole lot, in my opinion, maybe just a few months. What I was hoping for, unrealistically, for the new Camry to come, but we're not going to have to wait that much longer. Summer 2024, here we come. Bring on the new Camry. I got to shut it down. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and peace.